Hello everyone, it's Don Bain, the Gadget Professor. I've got a great show for you today. We're going to switch it up, not our usual stuff. We have a very cool gadget here on camera too. I really like this. It's very clever, very economical, and it works. That's amazing. And also I have two absolutely killer apps for you. Two tricks that you're really going to like. Stay tuned.
He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Bain, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.
Well, hello everyone, it's Don Bain, the Gadget Professor. Welcome everyone. We are on show number 276. I know everybody's asking me via email, what's going to be the greatest Black Friday sale? What's going to be the Cyber Monday sale? What are the greatest bargains? And here's the tip. I have no idea. I don't know. I'm looking through the stuff. I didn't see anything yet that's like, oh my God, but I will keep you posted, and certainly you want to make sure that you check the show notes. If you're new to the Gadget Professor, welcome. You can tune into our show very simply by just going to our webpage, and that would be www.thegadgetprofessor.com, thegadgetprofessor.com. And when you're there, just scroll down on the right-hand side. About halfway, you'll see our newsletter button. If you put your email address in every Thursday night, as soon as the new show is posted, you will get the show notes, which is just very simply a plethora of all the things that we've talked about, and you just click it. It's hot linked. It's very easy to do. And no, I do not do anything with your email except send you the newsletter. Also, if you'd like to email me, you can do that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. That would be thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. I'm pleased to tell everybody that we're in the studio. Feels good to be back here under the lights. Right now we're being videotaped. I guess it's not videotaped anymore. We're being recorded live in front of a live studio audience. I kid you not. There's 3 people back there. All right, so let's get right with it. Today we're going to change our format. I have a very interesting gadget with one caveat, and I'll tell you about that in a second. Also, at the end of the show, and it's going to be kind of a longer show than usual because I'm changing the format up. At the end of the show, I've got 2 really cool tips or gadget tricks or apps, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to torture you, and you have to listen to the whole show or zoom ahead so you can find out what these tips are. Let's start off immediately, if not sooner, with the gadget of the day. And we're going to take a look at camera 2. And what this is it's a very cool case. This particular case happens to be for the iPhone, but they do make them for a variety of other products. This is called mJoose. They make cases for the Galaxy, the Edge, and both iPhones, the Plus, and like your 6, your 6S, so on and so forth. But you're wondering, like, big deal, what's so special about this case? Well, this particular case is for the 6S, and it's pretty simple. If you notice right here, you'll see the lightning connector. So you're just going to insert your phone there and it hooks in on top. You've got, Mike's trying to focus that up. So you've got a place for your camera to see through, no biggie there. But if you'll notice right here, this is what makes this case, one of the things that makes this case really unusual. You'll see actually 2 switches here, one here and one here. And the bottom one, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's a battery. So if you turn this on, I'm sorry for switching on you there, Mike, but if you turn this on, you may see that this is not 100% charged, but 50% charged. You saw the blue lights there. I just charged this up. And then this top button here, if you turn this on, this actually will enhance the signal. There's circuitry inside this that will actually increase the reception. And what this proposes to do, I'm going to read the box right off it. It's going to give you up to 17 hours of talk time, 14 hours of watching videos. It will sync and charge if you plug it into your computer, up to 60 hours of music, and up to 12 hours of surfing the web. So that's what the battery backup will do. The other thing that's very interesting is if you plug this into your charger to charge your device up, which would be right here, if you use this jack, it knows that your phone is exhausted with the power. So it's going to charge your phone first, and then it will charge up the actual battery that's located on this. So it's a very cool device as far as the ergonomics go. Your phone slips right in here. This is going to give you a heck of a lot of protection. That I can tell you right off the bat. The other thing that's interesting is on the back. Let's talk a little bit about this antenna circuitry. The mJoose patented technology connects to the smartphone, reducing drop calls and delivering better reception. Now what they claim is when this circuit is actually turned on, they are claiming that you're going to get up to 100 times signal strength from lab testing. They verified it using a lab, and you're going to pretty much drop all the exposure at least up to 70%. So any radiation that this is generating, you're not going to feel. It's all going to be absorbed. So this will also improve your data connection speeds in weak signal areas by extending the range of other towers, which will result in better internet connectivity. So it does a lot of things, and essentially what this will do, if you do the math, it's going to give you up to 120% boost in battery power. So you're going to double the iPhone battery, and that's a pretty cool thing. Now, the accessories that it comes with, you've got a very clever extension cord here. So when the phone is plugged in, this actually will, as you can see, go right up and plug into your headphones. So it's not disturbing the headphone jack. You still have complete access to that. And then also on the side, it just gives you a standard charging cord. Nothing special about that. So it looks pretty cool. It's called the mJoose. mJoose, and they make a lot of different products, and if you go on their website, you can see the things that they do. The only thing that I have to tell you is I have a 6S Plus now, so it doesn't fit my phone. I haven't run it through its paces, but the literature is pretty impressive, and I have to tell you, this is really well made. A tad pricey. This particular product sells for 130 bucks. May be able to find it cheaper. I was looking around. I didn't see it cheaper, but I'll tell you, if it does everything that it says it does, it's well worth it. And again, it's really well made. So what I am going to do is I'm going to try to get a case that will fit my phone and test it out myself. If I can't do that, then I'm going to give this to Wildman Mike. I'm only going to charge him $120 for it, and I'll let him test it out for the week. If it works good, I'll take it away from him and keep the 120 bucks. So we'll see what happens. I'll let you know, but I really do like this device. Now, let's move on. This is kind of crazy, but it happens. It's technology, and when one thing comes out and it's great and it's at a great price, 10 days later someone else comes out with something that's half the price and 10 times greater. Unfortunately, that's what happened last week. So last week, as you know, we discussed the Gigastone PhotoFast, the 880W, which works flawlessly, I must tell you. This was 34 bucks, call it 35 bucks, and it works great. There's no problems with it. I use mine frequently. Again, it's a device that you put in a micro SD card, and it goes into the little slot, and then you plug that into your iOS, and you just basically extend how much storage you have up to 128 gigabytes. So what happened is, because the show is so popular because of you, what happened is one of the viewers sent in and said, "Hey, Gadget Professor, I loved your show. I just bought your PhotoFast thing. It was really cool. It works well. But then I was on Amazon and I went to buy another one, and I saw this Yikayan. And this is another iReader called Yikayan. And this thing is crazy. First of all, I'm going to be right up front. It's 20 bucks. So the other one was 32, so certainly it's cheaper. But I hate to say it, but it looks like it does a lot more. I called the company, they're sending me one. But this essentially will do both your iOS, because it has the lightning rod there, if you will, and it has a it has a USB connector. And if you'll notice, it not only takes a micro SD card, it also takes a standard SD card. So this thing is, I would say, a lot easier to operate, a lot more function there, a lot more functionality, because now you've got the USB port, you've got the lightning port, and you've got an SD capability and a micro SD capability. So it's all kind of wrapped up into one, and it's even on Prime, so you're going to get free one-day delivery if you're in that type of area where Amazon could service you. So it's your choice. I think the other one surely is significantly smaller. It's probably a quarter of the size. So if size matters to you, you may want to stick with the original one. If size doesn't matter, then you may want to get the this one that I'm showing you. But they both will do similar things, and I'm sure they both work well. I'm just honest. I'm just telling you what happened. All right, rolling right along. This is a cool device. I do not have one, but I do know someone who is actually testing this out for real, because this particular individual suffers from anxiety and insomnia and depression, like a lot of us do, and you know, it's just one of those things. So you know, you hate to take medicine, but I got to tell you, in many situations it helps, and everybody does what they need to do. But what I like about this is very similar in technology to a TENS machine, kind of similar. TENS machine will give you different pulses, square waves, sine waves, sawtooth waves, whatever the case may be, and kind of pulse and reduce inflammation, so on and so forth. This is kind of similar, but it emits in a frequency with a lower voltage than a TENS machine would do. And you can kind of do your own studying on this. I will enclose in our show notes a lot of the instructional information about the device. And essentially what you do, I'm not going to run the video, so don't freak out, but you just put this band over your head and you turn this device on, and it will stimulate the part of your brain that deals with depression, insomnia, anxiety, so on and so forth. It's not a quick fix. You're not going to put it on and that's the end of it. It takes a little while to break your head in, if you will. So I'm going to keep an eye on this through my friend and see how it works out for him. I did a little bit more research, and it is extremely pricey. This one is $700. They have one for $500, so on and so forth. Medicare, as I understand it, will pay you $100 towards the device. In Europe, you don't need a prescription. In the United States, you do, but being in the United States, there's a website that will take your name and your number and alleviate the need for a prescription, so that's kind of, I don't know. So again, it's a new device, it's new technology. Let's see how it goes, but I did think it was a very interesting gadget, if you will, a medical gadget, and let's see how it works. I hope it works real well for my friend because I like the concept a lot. All right. Here's some great deals. I'm always asked, what security system should I get? What security system? What should I use for a camera? What should I use for a smoke detector? I get these every week, and it's okay. I don't mind the questions. This happens to be a pretty cool buy. This is called Insteon Connected Home Security Kit. And you're going to get all this in one box. It's $190. And in this box, you're going to get an Insteon hub, which is basically a hub just like any other hub would be. And I'll keep that to the left. I'll talk about that in a second. But you're going to get a Wi-Fi camera. You're going to get a leak sensor. What's a leak sensor? A leak sensor is going to be one of these things that you're going to put near your water heater. And when your water heater blows, the sensor is going to go off. And while you're vacationing in Hawaii or Scranton, Pennsylvania, wherever you are, you're going to get this thing on your iPhone. It's going to say, it's leaking. So that's a good thing to know when you have water in your house or wherever you are. You're going to get a motion sensor, an open and close sensor. So it means if you open a door or open or close a window, it's going to tell you that, all on your smartphone. This also comes with the thermostat. The thermostats, if you check around, are probably $150 to $175 right out of the bat. This whole kit is $189.99. And you're also going to get 2 dimmer modules. So there's a lot included in the kit. I'll tell you one thing that's really cool about this. The Insteon products now connect to, guess what? The Amazon Echo unit, which means you can say, Echo, turn this on, Echo, turn this off, Echo, increase the temperature to 67 degrees, turn the air on, turn the lights on, dim the lights, all kinds of things like that. And that in itself, that functionality in itself is really, really handy. So you do need the hub, so that's why I said put the hub to the left. What is a hub? The hub integrates all these components that Insteon makes and are included in that box, and it allows things like the Alexa and the Echo to talk to these units, and you need a hub to do that. So it's a pretty good buy. Now, it's on Groupon, and it says it's on for 12 days. I have no control over that, so it will be in the show notes, and if you're cool enough to watch The Gadget Professor on Thursday night when it comes out, you might have a shot at getting one of these, but it seems like a very good value. Also, since we're talking about Groupon, I constantly get mail. As you know, I do a lot of photography, and people are wondering where I get my prints. I basically find that, for the most part, your professional labs do a great job, and it's very hard to tell a difference. Certainly, they're going to be better than your local Walmart or your CVS, but this is a great deal right now. You can get a personalized photo, which means any photo that you want, you can upload it to this particular site. You can get a 10 by 7 photo on metal, or 11 by 14 or 16 by 20, and it's $5, $10, and $15 accordingly. That's a fantastic deal. So if you ever were interested in seeing what something looks like on metal, this is very, very affordable. And you know what? With the holidays coming up, this is going to make a great gift. And as I said, it's very affordable. You're saving almost 90% off the 16 by 20 print. So very unusual gift. These things are typically stunning. But you got to have a good photograph. So if you're going to send a lousy photograph and they're going to blow it up to a 16 by 20, you're not going to be happy. So make sure that your photograph is very high quality. All right. Now, here's another site for you photographers out there, and I constantly get, I must get 3 or 4 photograph questions a week, and I love them because most of them I can answer. So keep those easy ones coming. But this site is called Picture Correct. This is an excellent informational site. Just put your email address in. They don't charge you anything for it. They don't try to sell you anything, but I have found over the years that the tips and tutorials that are offered by this Picture Correct site are really good. They're short, they're right to the point. So if you're a photographer or one of your kids are a budding photographer, this is a cool site, so you'll want to check that out. It's called Picture Correct, picturecorrect.com. Now, I'm changing things up. This is a little crazy. Right now I usually go into 6 or 7 apps or talk about who's being hacked. But because it's the holiday season and I'm getting a barrage of emails about what sites are the cool sites, well, we all know about a Black Friday ad site. I talked about that in the last 3 shows, so I'm not going to talk about it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the show notes from probably the last 2 or 3 episodes I've mentioned it. I'll mention it again next week. So what I've done now is I've taken 4 or 5 sites, and I'm going to do real quick for you. But what's neat about these sites is if you're new to them, and some of them you will be, you're going to get 10, 20, 15% right off the bat of whatever it is that you're buying. So the first one everybody I'm sure has heard of is Overstock.com. The only reason I like that is because they have a huge variety of stuff, and I don't know what you want. Okay, this one you probably have not heard of, but this is 6pm.com. I actually got an email from these folks a couple weeks ago asking me if I would mention it on their site, and I wrote them back like, I don't promote anybody because like I don't really buy that much stuff for fashion and things, but I looked the site over and I did compare it to a couple other sites. They have a lot of different items, and it seems like it's very high quality, and the prices are very good. And I'm going to show you in a minute a site where you can monitor any kind of change in pricing. This is a cool site. It's coming up in a second. This one deals only with style, so if you are into fashion, this is definitely a cool site. And I've also checked out the rankings of these sites, and they're all very good. I've checked out the complaints against these sites, and it's virtually zip. So all these sites are really good to check out if you're interested in buying something for the holidays. This one I had never heard of. It's very cool. Again, it's a higher quality merchandise. 1 Kings Lane. This one I kind of like the name Gilt, and again, it's very high quality. Prices are very good. I've checked it out against other websites. I know I'm talking fast, but I got to go. Okay, now here, this is allnaturalsavings.com if you're into organics, things like that. That's all they do here. So it might be food, it might be fashion, it might be whatever. But not only do they tell you where you can get great buys, but they also have a ton of coupons, and they're for real. They're not like makeup things and then they switch. And these are the real deals. So this is a cool site. And since we're talking about organic things, this site is excellent. It's organic deals, and they have everything, all kinds of clothes, groceries, coupons, and you might want to check this out. Now, these next 3 sites I really like a lot, and I've done a lot of research, probably about 2 weeks, looking at these sites and comparing and checking them out because, I really appreciate everybody who serves in our military, whether you agree with what we do or disagree. You still need to have the military, and these people really give a lot of themselves and their lives and their families' lives to keep everybody safe and help everybody out. So a lot of these sites will pop up, and they have one thing in mind: to make money. These 3 sites are, in my opinion, really out there to help people, truly help people. The first one is themilitarywallet.com. This talks about anything and everything that's available for free or at steep discounts for our servicemen and women. They tell you where to get free haircuts. You might not get a free cut every day, but every other Monday at such and such a place. And it lists all places all over the United States. So they also have every discount that's available on a daily basis that people are offering for our military. They have different podcasts, benefits. If you're having problems getting benefits and you're in the service, if you've been injured, you're a veteran, whatever, it really talks about where to go, who to call, who can be an advocate for you. So I really like this site. You definitely have to check it out. If you're not in the military, you can always join and then check these sites out. So there's a way around everything. Now, this one is also a great site. Unfortunately, they have a horrible name because I'm never going to remember it. It's called militaryandveteransdiscounts.com. Horrible name, excellent site. I'm just going to leave it at that. Check it out. It's very well done. It really is. I hate to say this, my favorite out of all these 3 is military.com. these guys go nuts. I mean, you couldn't imagine anything, you can imagine anything you want related to the military, discounts, things like that, news, weather, sports, it's all here, one-stop shop. Very well done, and check that out. Now, I mentioned a little while ago, you know, how do you know if one price is right and the price is raising while I'm buying it or it's lowering? Go to this site. It's price.pinx, and this will constantly monitor 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, what price your particular device or gadget is. Now, they monitor the most popular sites on the internet. So if you are looking at a different site, let's say it's not Amazon or not Nordstrom's or not Target, if it was one of the other sites that I mentioned, and you're buying a scarf or whatever it may be, if you register on this site, they're going to check probably the top 50 sites on the internet. The second the price changes up or down, you will be alerted. It doesn't cost a penny to do this. They have an enormous database. It's very well done, and I've tried it maybe 3 or 4 times this week on random things, and it works really well. And I thought I had the best price, but this actually, I didn't buy anything, but this actually told me that I didn't have the best price. So definitely check that out, especially now during the holidays. Now, last but not least, and then I'm going to go into these killer apps, is the Fraud Watch Network. This is run by AARP, and this is a variety of different articles and things that you really need to watch that are going to help people who don't quite understand the internet or don't know when they're being scammed or not. This is the site you want to go to. It changes its content probably 10 times a day, so it's dynamic in nature, and I think you will enjoy this. So if you're wondering about if you're being scammed or how you should invest your money, it gives you tips to keep you safe and all kinds of things that I think will be very informative and helpful to you. Now, you ready? Here's my killer tips. The first one is Crystal Disk Info. You got to get this. You got to get this. This is available for both the Mac and the PC. Did you ever have a hard drive just die? Or your hard drive was kind of dying, but then you got it back and you felt like a superstar because you fixed it, but you didn't really fix it, but you didn't know you really fixed it, but it's working, and then a week later it dies? Yeah. So if you load this onto your computer, whether you have a Mac or PC, and this is the portable version. There's a permanent install version. The portable version works great. There's no malware or spyware or anything like that. It's all clean. I've tested it out. This is going to tell you when your hard drive is about had it, when it's about ready to go. And you can't tell that by listening to it. Trust me. This will give you the diagnostics and tell you that your hard drive is at 90% of its life, which means you probably want to be preemptive and attack and get rid of that hard drive and change it. It will tell you if it's at 10%. It gives you more information than you'll understand, but the bottom line is if you really want to know where your hard drive is and where it's going, definitely install this. It's totally free. There's no reason not to. Okay, here's my super tip of the day. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Did you ever send out an email and go, I sent it to the wrong person, or I wish I didn't say that, or all those kinds of things? Did you ever have a girlfriend leave you in the middle of the night and you want to yell at her and scream at her and you write this big email and you say, so this is going to help you. It's going to help you. It's going to save your life. Get that email back. Yeah. So if you're using Gmail, and it's only a Gmail app right now, you're going to go into settings. So if you're using Gmail, it's just updated probably in the last week or two, and you don't even know this is on there, I'll bet. So here you go. You're going to go into settings, which is a real simple thing to do. You all know how to go into settings. You're going to go up here. You're going to scroll down and you're going to hit settings. So that's where I'm at. Now, here's the magic. Scroll down. You got to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and it's on here somewhere. It was on here. I'm looking, let's see here, widgets. Here it is. Undo send, right there, undo send. Yeah. What you're going to do is go over here to enable undo send. So you're going to click on this, yeah, and now you're going to say you're going to set your cancellation period. They call it send cancellation period for 10 seconds. So after 10 seconds, it's gone. You can't get it back. But this will give you 5, 10, 20, and 30-second windows, and it will come up and say, do you really want to send it? Or if you have sender's remorse, you're going to click it and say no, and it's not going to send the email. It's not foolproof, but usually you shouldn't send something, or you wish you didn't send something pretty close after you hit that send button. You're going to go, ah! So set it to 30 seconds. I'm going to set mine to 30 seconds, and it's going to mark conversation as read. That means if you're getting something, never after 3 seconds, after 20 seconds. So that's another kind of reverse thing. You can click never so they never know that you read it, or however, whatever frequency you want. So that's a real cool thing. I don't know anybody else who has that, and they're not broadcasting it. I don't see much information on it, but it's a very cool thing. I like it. So check that out. Go into settings. It's called Undo Send. It's only available on Gmail, and your Gmail is probably already updated, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, folks, the last thing I'm going to leave you with, I love this because I'm the Gadget Professor. I'm probably going to do this back at my house in Rhode Island. I have Billy Bass. I do have Billy Bass. It survived 2 kids and 2 grandkids. Actually, it's a little damaged, but it still works. But I want to do this to Billy Bass when I get back to Rhode Island someday. What they've done is they've actually made it into an Amazon Echo device, and it's a real short video. Let's see, here it is. You can probably see this. And by the way, the guy who did this is from Rhode Island, so it's very cool. But basically, when you click the button, it will actually come up and say, "What do you want?" And then it actually speaks. It's kind of not playing at the moment, but you can look at that for yourself. It's very cute. It's very neat, and I'm going to definitely do that when I get back to Rhode Island. So I hope you enjoyed the show today. I enjoyed very much bringing it to you. I will see everybody next week. So long from the Gadget Professor.
The Gadget Professor is produced by Don Bain, Multimedia Communications, LLC. If you would like your product reviewed on The Gadget Professor or would like to appear on The Gadget Professor, contact us via email at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. The opinions expressed on the program by the host, guests, call-in listeners, or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. And thank you for watching The Gadget Professor.